playing MLB The Show, Diamond Dynasty, and we will be giving you our top 10 hitters of all time. My name is Eddie. This is Kyle. As you can see, we'll be playing Texas versus LSU. I am Texas and Kyle is LSU. We'll be going throughout this gameplay and at the same time giving you our top 10 hitters of all time. I might mention that Kyle is a much better player at this than I am, but I mean, I'll be giving it my best shot. Kyle?
Yeah, what up, man? Oh, I got the same picture of wow.
Let's see how this game starts off here.
I would have Aaron Nola up out of all people. What happened to the strike zone? The strike zone not here?
Apparently not. You forgot to take it off. Actually, you forgot to put it on. Anyway. Well, let's just jump into our top 10 hitters of all time. I'll let you go first. Oh, the strike zone is there. Alright. Alright, well, let's just jump into our top 10. And we'll start with your number 10 hitter of all time.
For one of my top 10 hitters of all time, I would say I would have at number 10 would be Joe DiMaggio. He is the all-time leader in his hitting. He does hold. I'm going to rephrase that. He does hold the all-time hitting streak record with 56 games. Throughout his prime, he was pretty much a consistent 300 hitter. Had the pop in the bat. Going to war really kept him from getting big-time career numbers. Since probably it took 4 years out of his career, and I think he finished his career around with 2,500 hits. But without him going to war, I believe he would have finished around with 3,000 something hits, and probably would have been a lot more noticed besides his hitting streak.
That's very true. I agree. My number 10. Well, it may be controversial at some points. Some people believe that, hey, he shouldn't be anywhere on this list. Some people say, hey, you can't leave him off this list. And, well, I'm pretty sure you already know who I'm talking about, and that's Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds, of course, has been linked many years to steroids and all sorts of allegations with HGH and other types of performance enhancers. But I feel like it still takes a lot of talent to put the bat on the ball. I mean, a career 298 hitter, 762 home runs all time. I mean, over 1,900 RBIs. I mean, I feel like it's foolish not to have him on this list. Over 2,900 hits, over a 22-year career. I mean, Barry Bonds, like I said, though he was linked to steroids, I feel like it's an injustice not to have him on this list. And I feel like he's a solid number 10. Does he plan, or should he be a little higher? Possibly. But he'll be my number 10. Alright, we'll move on to number 9. How about your number 9?
Well, for number 9, I have a Yankees great, and his name is Mickey Mantle. Mickey Mantle was probably arguably my top 5 hitter the Yankees have ever had. And for his career, he batted a 300 flat. He had a lot of pop in the bat, finished his career with 536 home runs. He drove in plenty of runs with the Yankees, had over 1,500 career RBIs. And what made him even more deadly, he was a switch hitter, and arguably one of the greatest switch hitters of all time. And he pretty much did not have any weakness. He had the same amount of power from each side of the bat, which made him a lot more deadly than today's switch hitters. Because mostly today's switch hitters, they have more of a dominant side, but Mickey Mantle, he was just deadly from both sides of the plate, and you could not stop him.
Very true. I mean, the closest you would get to Mickey Mantle in our day and age was Chipper Jones. Chipper Jones was that type of player that you know, he was very, very respected, you know, amongst his, you know, fellow teammates and amongst the league, you know, and he of course, retired 2 years ago. But Chipper Jones, you know, just like Mickey Mantle, was very, you know, very good at both sides of the plate. I mean, a career 300 hitter on both sides. I mean, that's very commendable. Oh, as we see a wild pitch here. Well, my number 9, once again, maybe a little controversial to some. Some may agree, some may not. And that is Hank Aaron. Of course, Milwaukee Brave, former Milwaukee Brave, former Atlanta Brave. Hank Aaron. Um, he was a career 305 hitter, over 755 home runs, over 2,200 RBIs, over 3,700 hits, over a 23-year career. I mean, Hank Aaron, what can you say about Hank Aaron besides a great hitter? He's known for his great hitting. He was one of the most feared at the time. He's still respected throughout the league. You can't bring him into the league events and not anybody in the major leagues would love to continue picking his brain. And he's a great hitter. And I feel like at number 9, he had to make this top 10 list. Others may think he should go higher, but I feel like he was a perfect number 9 on my list.
Throw the ball, Sally. Jesus.
As you can see here, we're tied 1-1 in the top of the 2nd inning with a high ball.
Man, Kenzo scares me, man. His defense is so trash.
Yeah,
He's a great hitter, man. I'll leave him in.
Yeah, he is a great hitter. I guess you got to take, you know, the good with the bad.
Yeah, everybody has their flaws.
Yeah.
Well, going on for my next hitter, I would say like number 8. I would pretty much put yeah, another Yankees great, Lou Gehrig. And yes, 3 straight Yankees. I am a Yankees fan, so.
And one thing y'all will know is, as we continue this, is that he is a diehard Yankees fan. I'm a diehard Braves fan, so I mean I had to put Hank Aaron on there, but deservingly so.
But anyway, Lou Gehrig was pretty much, I think, if he would have played a full career, I believe he would have been a lot like all-time Yankees great, even over Babe Ruth. His career stopped tragically because of Lou Gehrig's disease, which is devastating because that dude was on his way to might be the greatest hitter of all time if he actually would have stayed healthy and not got that terrible disease. But I mean, anyway, let me dive into his career stats for you. He had a career batting average of 340, and he had plenty of pop in the bat with 498 career home runs. Drove in a lot of RBIs, with over 1,900 RBIs, and for every year he played, he was in the MVP run, finishing in the top 5 every year he played. Even his rookie year, he was a top 5 contender for the MVP. And he actually won MVPs than his counterpart Babe Ruth, and arguably the best hitter the Yankees have ever had.
That's one thing that, well, I'll let you know later on, depending on how your list goes. But as we jump into my number 8, I have the Willie Mays. Willie Mays, I mean, he was a great hitter. I mean, what more can you say besides a career 302 hitter, had exactly 660 home runs, over 1,900 RBIs, over 3,200 hits, and he played in the league for 22 years. Willie Mays, when you speak of Willie Mays, not only do you think of a bat, but you think of a glove. Willie Mays was a hell of a fielder. You know, he's made plenty of highlight reels throughout his career.
Oh my!
Basket, you know, the legendary over the back basket catch that he made throughout, you know, that is still being replayed to this day. Willie Mays is, you know, the epitome of, you know, what a baseball player should have been. I mean, he was an incredible player. I mean, he won a World Series in 1954. He was a 2-time NL MVP. He won 12 Gold Gloves. I mean, 12 Gold Gloves. That's not a shy feat at all. I mean, he was a what? I believe, if I'm not mistaken, a 24-time All-Star. I mean, that is ridiculous. 24-time All-Star. That's something that somebody, I mean, other than maybe Mike Trout and Bryce Harper,
ridiculous.
we won't ever see that be, get matched. And Bryce Harper gets a hold of one, and it will be caught. It looks like we're heading to the bottom of the third with a 1-1 tie, with Corey Seager up to bat with a very, very good 435 batting average. I mean, Steven Strasburg seems to be holding his own at this point, but and as soon as I say that, over possibly 400-foot home run. I mean, oh, it's a nice little setup they have in center field there. I mean, I don't think you can really see the game. I guess you're there just to eat and not watch the game. But oh, that's a beautiful bunt.
Come on, run, ball.
You got that Gold Glove A-Rod at third base. And here's another person that just boggles my mind. Ichiro. I mean, the way they created this card.
He actually today Ichiro broke the all-time hits record.
Oh, did he after all?
Yeah, he beat. Well, they're counting it, I think, from the Japanese league.
Right. I know Pete Rose had a big problem with that. You know,
they're salty about it.
Oh, looks
there
like
it is. Come on, get down, Ichiro hit.
Attaboy, Reggie Stalker with the MVP.
This game's fake. It's fake.
Can I say?
Reggie Stalker don't make plays like that.
Well, yeah, like I was saying, Pete Rose, he had a very, he made his opinion known. He made his opinion known, and he even threw out some comments there saying, hey, if you're gonna count his Japanese league hits, you might as well count his high school hits. I mean, you can tell he's very upset about it, and in a way, I can understand, I mean, because he didn't have the opportunity to play at a.
Basically, this is just a slap in the face to Pete Rose from the MLB.
I don't know what my left fielder was doing. He could have burned him at third. We have 2 outs with Giancarlo Stanton up to bat. Let's see what I can throw him. All right, good pitch. Let's see.
Oh, you better run.
Attaboy.
You better run, Giancarlo. You're so.
Attaboy. Good job there, Hanley. Well, where did we leave off? I believe we were at number 8. Now we're at number 7.
Number 7.
We're at number 7 with Reggie Stalker up to bat, a.k.a. Barry Bonds in his home stadium. I mean, it's just it's only proper that he hits a home run in this stadium, doesn't it? Oh.
Splash zone?
Splash zone, probably. Possibly. I doubt it.
Who's ready out there? Get the canoes.
Oh.
Oh,
well, that didn't happen.
Big hitter. Well, anyway, for my number 7, I actually put him low on the list than baseball did. I have for my number 7, I have Hank Aaron. Like baseball said, Hank Aaron was incredible. He hit for power throughout pretty much every year he played. Even at an old age, he was still hitting the ball out the park, and hitters were feared. Pitchers feared him throughout his whole career. At the age of 40, I believe, he was so feared that pitchers still pitched around him, thinking he would beat him even at old age,
Mm-hmm.
The respect was there for him. And anyway, he did hit. He rarely hit on the 300 for his career. During his prime, he was mostly a 340 home run guy. And that just took me out at second base. But he had 1 MVP. Probably deserved more than that, but it was a tough league when he played in. A lot of good hitters when he played. He was just a good image for the game. He played the game right. He was going off the field. He didn't do really anything to affect him. He was a Braves legend and a legend to this day in major leagues.
Very true. I mean, I have a little bit of bias. This might be out.
Jose Bautista, another great power hitter that's on his way, maybe.
I mean, Jose Bautista, you know, he's a
Got his swing turned around.
yeah. I mean, he's a story. I
Which
mean,
this is what you Jose Bautista's the late, as what you call a late great hitter.
uh,
You got the boy Jim Emmons, Cardinal legend, driving the run. Hopefully.
well, jumping into my number 7, I have, as you mentioned earlier in your number, I have Mickey Mantle. I have Mickey Mantle. You know, Mickey Mantle, as you stated earlier, you know, you mentioned his stats. I mean, he was a great hitter. He was a great hitter on both sides of the plate. I mean, he was the epitome of I can hit from the left or the right. You know, he was part of a great organization in the New York Yankees, and I know you're gonna love the fact that I say that, but he was a great hitter, and he proved.
Corey Seager!
Another home run from Corey Seager.
Corey!
I don't know why I continue doing that Corey Seager, even when I'm playing against other people. I see Corey Seager, and I don't see him as a threat at all. So I put a fastball down the middle every single time, and I still got him at first.
A-Rod's fielding? Oh, the arm's just not good enough.
As I continue to say, Mickey Mantle, you know, he was a great player. He was a great player on and off the field. Many stories about him. He was a great. Oh my goodness. I don't know why. I'm just putting fastballs down the middle for this dude. I guess because I feel like he can't hit. I don't know.
Oh, that's. Oh wow.
I'm just kidding. But I guess I'm not playing as much attention as I should. But yeah, Mickey Mantle, you know, over 530 home runs, as he stated, 290, almost 300 hitter. He was a. Oh no, that was on accident.
Oh well, we have a little confusion in the infield. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, Mickey Mantle, man. Can't go wrong with Mickey Mantle.
Well, let's see if I can get. Oh my gosh. His confidence level right now is just. Let's just do the. Confidence is like in the dirt right now. Look at that. He's just leaving it over the plate now.
And that's one track power though. Come on, Devin! Alright, man. So, you named all you have to do with Mickey Mantle?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, other than the fact that he was part of Major League Baseball's All-Century team. I mean, he was a great player.
Oh, no big deal. But, yeah, for my number 6, I believe we're on number 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
For number 6, I would have to put probably my favorite player of all time, and probably the player with the most swag in the history of the MLB, is my boy Ken Griffey Jr.
Ken Griffey.
Dude was just an all-out stud. Just the way he freaking just carried himself, he didn't give a damn what people thought. He was out there, and he just wanted to just demolish every pitcher he faced. And just to give you a little bit of an insight on why I love this guy so much, he's a home run champion, and oh, hang on, I have to make this play real quick. I'll say he must. Oh, come on, you get the ball in. Well, anyway, that was just bad. In his prime, I believe he had probably one of the best primes in the history of the MLB. Hit mostly over 40 home runs to 60 home runs, and batting above 300, which is pretty insane. But yeah, he finished his career with he was also not all phrase no, went out better. He was just not all power. He would take you. He had plenty of doubles for his career. Had plenty of triples for his career. He finished his career with 2,800 hits. And we all know top 10 home run hitter with his career with 630. But yeah, but injuries, man. The injuries kept this man from becoming what I believe would be a top 3 hitter of all. Just not a hitter, but a top 3 all-around player of all time. This dude was the man during the 90s. Everybody wanted to be like Griffey. And yeah, it's just really sad that injuries kept this man from having like an historic career.
Yeah, that's very true. I
Still
mean,
hitting
King Griffey Jr.
630 home runs and the amount of like, he probably he missed about a total of like what, like 3 seasons due to injuries,
Hmm.
but still hit for like 2,000 hits. Oh, well, close to 3,000 hits, and to finish his career in top 10 home runs just proves how much of a, when he was healthy, how much of a force he was at the plate.
Yeah, it's very true. I mean, King Griffey Jr., I mean, he was one of the very first ones to ever even grace the cover of any video game. I mean, I remember back in the day when I was a little kid, off of the Nintendos, you know, stuff like that, you would want to be playing like, you know, King Griffey baseball. I mean, he was a force in the 90s, you know. Many times took a backseat to, you know, to Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa, you know, but only just because of the injuries. I feel like if he would have played, you know, the whole career with, you know, injuries, but at the same time, you know, King Griffey Jr., I might as well say he is my number 6, and he was the epitome of a player that just played nonstop, 100%. You know, he's kind of like the person we're seeing batting right now in Bryce Harper. I mean, Bryce Harper is a person that is a player that just plays, you know, all out. You know, I mean, to the point where,
Man.
yeah, I mean, to the point where even managers had to tell him, it looks like an easy error at first. Even managers even told him, hey, you need to relax. You know, I remember him running into Dodgers Stadium's right field fence, you know, going for a hit or a pop fly, and you know, and ended up, you know, injuring himself. He was day to day. Luckily, nothing major occurred, but you know, he's that type of player.
You just gotta respect the man, his worth ethic.
Right. I mean, I remember
Same
him.
thing is for Mike Trout. You know, those two always in the race for who the best player is in the MLB. Both have
Right.
great work
I
ethic
mean,
and both care for the team and want them to succeed.
yeah. I mean, he was like you stated, an all-around player. I mean, you can't take away the fact that, you know, he had 13, or he was a 10-time Gold Glove Award winner. He was a 13-time All-Star. He was an MVP. You know, he was. I remember he had the Comeback Player of the Year, I believe, in 2005. I mean, he came back from injury and
In the
just
All-Star game.
correct. I mean, I remember.
As what, like he was
Was it
like 37 years old at the time?
Right. Was it 1998 that he put on a show in Fenway Park for the All-Star game? I believe so. Or 1990, was it 98? I believe
He was
so.
actually the first man to actually, I think he turned his hat around back and hitting the home run derby.
Right. And I believe it was him against Mark McGwire put on a show at Fenway Park. And I remember there was home runs there that, you know, records were being broken that night. I remember, I believe Mark McGwire had set the record for most in one round, which I believe was 13 at the time. You know, 13 nowadays seems like it's nothing. You know, 13 home runs in one round is, you know, I feel like, you know, it's not as rare. It's very common now. You know, I mean, as you can see with Jose Abreu's performances and the Josh Hamilton's performances. I mean. And
you gotta give him credit. It's hard to hit the ball out of the park with like no pitch velocity coming in. It's just raw power you have to use to hit that ball out.
Oh, that's very true. I mean, that's probably the hardest thing. I mean, a lot of people are like, why is he huffing and puffing? Why does he need a Gatorade as soon as he's done? Well, you know, it takes a lot of power to get those home runs. You know,
your legs get tired, your arms get tired. You know?
Exactly, and I mean, you know, some people, you know, inexperienced home run derby performers, you know, tend to it was a hard bunt with an easy at the first. They tend to try and go all out in the first round, as you can see. You know, people who are veterans at it. You know, Josh Hamilton did, but did not win the
28 in one round.
Right, and couldn't do anything the following rounds. You know, but you have people like Jason Giambi and, you know, Mark McGwire's, Ryan Howard, Yoenis Cespedes, people who won it multiple times. You know, they pace themselves, but that goes through experience. And as A-Rod rolls over one, will he beat that out? No, he will not. All right, we're entering. Well, we have one out in the 7th inning. As you can see, LSU, as in Kyle, is winning.
The topic.
Oh, it looks like
that's gone.
Beltray just got a hold of one.
Oh, that's gone.
As I'm about to say 7-1,
That's
well, let
gone.
me say 7-2.
Speaking of another great
Or
man,
6-2.
Beltray, man.
Yeah, Adrian Beltray. I mean, he had the type of a career that, you know, in the beginning when he was with the Dodgers, you just didn't know.
Pretty much he was, the older he gets, like the announcers say, the older he gets, the better he's gotten.
That's true. I mean, when he was a rookie...
He's going to be like 50 years old, dropping 60 home runs? Or...
Right. I mean, in his earlier years, there were some times where people were... They didn't know exactly what Beltray was, you know. He didn't have a true identity at first, and it was getting... he was getting questioned a lot, you know. Was he going to live up to all the hype? But, you know, as you can see, you know, he obviously got better and better, and... Adrian Beltray is just a great player. I mean, he's been with Texas.
The topic I want to talk about in our later videos is pretty much I want to talk about A-Rod and just how his career might end up being like when he retires and if he's going to have any chance in the Hall of Fame or not.
Yeah,
it's another great topic I want to discuss later on.
Yeah, and we will. I mean, it's a good point that you bring up. There's going to be a lot of topics for y'all to listen to. There's going to be a lot of topics for us to speak about. I mean, not just baseball. We want to bring football. We want to bring baseball. We want to bring
talk finals.
We want to bring NBA finals. We want to be able to interact with y'all. We want to see what y'all have to say in the comments. You know, we're more than welcome to read every comment. We're gonna notice everybody. We're gonna read every single one. We promise that, you know, even criticism, we're gonna watch it. We're gonna read it. We're gonna take everything with a grain of salt. And we know that we can, you know, improve this, and we know that, you know, we can get better as time goes by. But the only way it can get better is with y'all. But as I say that, we're heading to the 7th. We're in the bottom of the 7th with one out. He's still winning 6-2 with a runner at first with that 98 speed, which is that Ichiro card that they've made on this game is ridiculously good.
It's ridiculous.
But we jump into number 5. What is your number 5 best hitter of all time?
Well, my number 5 is, well, we're playing in his home, his
domain.
Yeah, domain. We're talking about the home run great, pretty much most power I've ever seen. Probably hit the farthest home run in the history of the MLB, and I ever witnessed it. That's the powerful Barry Bonds. As baseball said, you had Barry Bonds at what? Your number 10?
I had him at number 10 only because I knew I had to leave him on the list. Oh, 98 overall, 98 speed Ichiro. That was dumb on my part, but luckily it fell in my favor. But yes, I did have Barry Bonds at number 10 only because I had to have him on the list, and you know, with the steroids and stuff. So
that's a home run. So I gotta take this guy out. It's getting way too much now. It's 3-1 game. Oh man.
So continue.
Well, anyway, despite the whole like steroid scandal and everything, man, you still gotta be able to put the bat on the ball. And you still have to see the ball. And Barry Bonds proved that he's pretty much one of the greatest. He had one of the greatest eyes in the history of baseball. This dude literally had incredible plate discipline. And as you see, when he hit 73 home runs, I believe he had like a close to 500 on base percentage. He actually had about 200 and something walks in one season. And
yeah, that's ridiculous. I mean, that's
at an old age too. He was about like 37, 36 at the time, and that's you know, that's pretty much unheard of. You don't hear pitchers pitching around like A-Rod or Jeter or.
I mean, that's the epitome. That's the epitome of respect. I mean, Barry Bonds was the epitome of respect in the league, and he was the most feared
batter. I remember
that
year though when he hit that 550-foot home run off the. Who was it? There was some dude played for the Angels.
I believe it was Tim Salmon or no, Troy Percival. I believe might have been Troy Percival.
And it was just that thing that hit off the scoreboard, like the very top of the scoreboard, and I was just like, I still believe that ball is in orbit. That ball didn't come down.
That's very true. Very, very true.
It's just that.
Are you still changing your picture right now?
Yes, I was.
All right,
But
I'm about to do the
yeah,
same.
well, he had 7 career MVPs, which is just ridiculous. I believe like 7 career MVPs, and just how much of a force he was and how much value he held for the San Francisco Giants.
Very true.
And I believe if there was like an MVP for the whole league, I still believe he was the MVP for like the entire MLB.
Right.
And I mean, at a young age, before he so-called was like a steroid freak, he was a great all-around hitter. When he was young in his 20s, he still he had 30 home runs and averaged 100 RBIs pretty much every season. It wasn't really until he got to the Giants his numbers really shot up. But I mean, like, when he played for the Pirates, but I believe when he played for like the Giants, his numbers really took off, and that's when everybody thought, "Wow, someone's up." But I mean, like, who knows what he did? You can believe he took steroids or not. I don't care. Pretty much to me, it doesn't really matter to me. I just believe this guy was just had amazing talent. And too bad he won't. People just think of him as, oh wow, he's the guy who took steroids, and that's why he was so good. It's just sad to hear that the respect for him is just not there for a true great ball player that he was.
That's true. Well, I'm gonna jump into my number 5. My number 5 is Rogers Hornsby. Unless you're a very, very baseball diehard. A lot of people don't know who Rogers Hornsby is. And I'm from Houston, Texas, and he's from Winters, Texas. So he's a Texas native, and he was a career 358 hitter. I mean, 358 is incredibly good. He didn't have, the home run numbers that some of these guys in this list have. He finished with 300 home runs, 301 to be exact. Had about 1,500 RBIs, over 2,900 hits. He was a great player. He was a World Series champion in 1926. He was a 2-time Triple Crown winner. He was a 7-time National League batting champion and 2-time National League home run leader, as well as a 4-time NL RBI leader, which is ridiculous. And as you can see, he was a great hitter. He has all sorts of hitting accolades, led the league in hitting many years in a row. As mentioned, he was a World Series champion in 1926. He's part of Major League Baseball's All-Century team. He's part of Major League Baseball's all-time team. And he didn't get all of it. There's no way with that deepest part of the ballpark. No way. Oh wow, that was a lot closer than it should have been. But yeah, that is my number 5. Let's hear what your number 4 is.
Well, for number 4, y'all might not like this, but for him being this far like down, but I have at number 4 I have arguably the greatest Red Sox that ever, the greatest Boston Red Sox, and in this game is tied. Holy shit.
A-Rod.
But yeah, number 4 for me is and the fans I can see are not happy after that. But look, he just got in the back with his hat. He's like, what the hell just happened? But yeah, well, Ted Williams is my number 4. I mean, just an outstanding hitter. He was the last player to ever hit 400. Actually hit over 400. I think he had like bat average of 4, and you just took the lead.
Oh wow!
And I believe he had oh no, I might lose. What inning is it in? I have to change. But I mean Trevor Rosenthal, man. But yeah. But I'm trying to carry on, yeah, well, career batting average, he had a career batting average of 344, which is one of the all-time best. And he had a lot of pop in the bat. He hit about average when he was like in his prime. He had an average about 25 to 35 home runs a year. Bat around like 320 to 350 most. And when you know they have 400 season, the incredible 400 season he had. And yeah, he's my number 4.
That's a pretty good number 4 right there. As you can see, I'm up 7-6 with Jose Bautista, who's got massive, massive power in the 8th inning, bottom of the 8th inning. I'm just afraid. Oh, wow. That looked like it was a good pitch. See if Hunter Strickland can work some magic for me. At number 4, I have Lou Gehrig. Lou Gehrig, late Yankees great. You know, I have. Oh, and we are tied. And I know for a fact that he was sitting on that fastball low and away. I know for a fact he was, because I could hear it on his controller right now. He was waiting for that pitch. And that's because it shouldn't even have been. He should have rolled over. I didn't mean it to be that on the plate. Got him. Oh man, I'm in a bad situation right now. But yes, Lou Gehrig. Lou Gehrig is my number 4. He was a very, he was a very known player. Unfortunately, died, of course, of ALS, also known now as, Lou Gehrig's disease. He was a player that I believe could have had far better numbers if the sickness hadn't taken his life, and I feel like he could have been, like you stated, he could have been better than, possibly Babe Ruth, possibly better than Babe Ruth, and better than some of the other Yankee greats. Of course, he's well known for his today. I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth. Many people know him. Lou Gehrig has been taught in elementary schools. He's been taught.
He also
on History Channel
wrote a book on how to hit.
Yeah, and not many people know. Not many people know that.
He wrote that he used to be able to see every stitch of the ball when it came in.
Yeah, and it's true. I mean,
I was like,
he was such a focused hitter.
That's incredible that he can see every stitch of the ball.
And
took the lead.
Well, you already had the lead. Oh no, you didn't. It was tied. Oh wow, Hunter Strickland. Attaboy.
That's a I want a 47 speed. Can he make it? Can he make it on Kemp? Can he make it on? Oh god. And he got it.
Yeah, Kemp didn't even get a freaking running start or anything. Let's jump to number 3. Who's your number 3?
Well, I actually have. This is my. For you, he might have been your top 3 all time. For my top 3 all time, I have the great Willie Mays. I believe, arguably, and also my opinion, I believe that Willie Mays is probably the greatest 5-tool player to ever play the game. He's a 4-time home run champion. And he won the MVP twice. Arguably could have won it a lot more, but like I said, he played with a lot of great talent. And yeah, he actually led the league in walks at the age of 40.
Yeah, that's once again, epitome of respect again, such as Barry Bonds.
You guys not a switch hitter?
No, he's not a switch hitter.
But yeah, so Willie Mays finished his career with over 3,000 hits. Good place here. Willie Mays finished his career with 3,000 hits and finished with 660 career homers. Truly an incredible career he had. One of the greats we'll always remember. And we'll never forget him.
Yeah, well, my number 3, I have Stan the Man Musial. Stan Musial was he was a Cardinal great. He was a Cardinal great, and he was a 331 career hitter. over 470 home runs, over 1,900 RBIs. As we get a great rip. I love hitting against Aroldis Chapman, by the way.
You just side on that thing with just not even any effort.
Yeah, he was, like I said, he had over 3,600 hits and over a 22-year career. And Stan Musial, he was I believe he was also in the military, so he was a great all-around person. You know, he's still respected, and I don't know how I missed that with a green reticle. Good timing.
That's so pretty hard facing Stocker and Harper and Stocker back to back. Jesus. And I thought you were gonna crush that. To be honest with you.
That's what I thought.
Oh yeah, well Stan Musial was a guy. Really, you know, people don't really talk about Stan Musial that much. Sad.
Yeah.
He's one of those underrated all-time greats.
Correct. Well, we're gonna have, with time restraints, we're just gonna jump into our number 2 and number 1 hitters. What is your number 2 and your number 1 hitter of all time?
Well, this is gonna be pretty simple for me. I'm just gonna keep it simple because we all know who these people are. For number 2, I have Pete Rose. I'm just gonna keep it simple since this game's over. Okay. Well, to this day, he was the all-time leader in hits, but your boy Ichiro came, took that from him. There's a lot of salt there from him. But he was the all-time leader in hits, and he's just a pure hitter. You can't take that away from the man. And for my number 1, the Yankees, all-time great, my favorite player for the Yankees to ever play the game, and that's Babe Ruth. 714 career home runs, 342 career average. He also had a little speed in that little big body of his. He had 136 career triples, so give some respect to him. And he caught his own home run. Like, if that's not greatness, then I don't know what is. And just a little side note, Babe Ruth also was a phenomenal pitcher for the Red Sox. And incredible ERA, pitched like had a 2.32 ERA, and which is just, and he was also a top 5 Cy Young candidate, which just proves you something there. That's my top 10.
Well, at number 2, I have your number 1 in Babe Ruth. I feel like, yeah, you're right. He was the face of baseball. He was the face of the Yankees, so he still is considered the face of baseball to many. Many people who don't know baseball, people who probably maybe never even seen a game before in their life. As hard as that is to believe, but they'll know the name Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth is still being said in movies. Babe Ruth is still being said in history books across the nation and across the world. You know, Babe Ruth is a world icon, though, you know, and people respected Babe Ruth, and Babe Ruth was, you know, the Sultan of SWAT, you know, the king of crash, as you would like to say from, you know, from the Sandlot. You know, great movie, by the way. But he was a great hitter. And like you said, mentioned over 700 home runs, over 2,200 RBIs, 22-year career. I mean, there's nothing more that you could say besides the man. He was the man of baseball, and he's still considered the man, and he's probably the best player all time, all around. But at number 1, as far as hitting was concerned, I had Boston Red Sox great Ted Williams. Ted Williams, a 344 hitter, a 521 career home runs, over 1,800 RBIs, over 2,600 hits, and in a 19-year career. And I know that's not going to vote well for you because he is a Red Sox, and I know how much you hate Red Sox. And you know what? Screw it.
Hey, I give some respect to the man. I got him in my top 5. All right. Yeah. I had to just respect this man. I had to respect him. All right.
Yeah. I mean, he was a 6-time AL batting champion, 4-time AL home run leader. I mean, 2-time AL MVP. He was a 19-time All-Star. I mean, what is there to say? What else does this man have to prove besides being a great hitter and a great player all around? And he was also part of the U.S. Navy and the U.S. Marine Corps. I mean, the guy was a great person on and off the field. He was respected till the end. Unfortunately, passed away in 2002. But till the end, he was still respected. And just like Hank Aaron and a lot of these people on this list, you know, many players today, you know, Wish they could pick a lot of these players' brains, because these are the greats, and these are the greats that people wish. What is your secret? What is it that you did? What is it that made you the best? What made you the GOAT? What made you top 10 all time as far as hitters? Maybe not our top 10, but there's some people on this list that probably be on everybody's top 10. And those hitters are the hitters that people want to hear and want to see and wish they could have been alive to see. Some people were, but I unfortunately, and I know you weren't fortunate enough to see these people play, but we're fortunate enough to see players like Bryce Harper and Mike Trout and Chipper Joneses and Derek Jeters that we get to tell our kids and be like, hey, grandpa or dad or whatever we become, can say they were alive to watch them. And well, as you can see, that is our top 10 hitters of all time. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you come back for more. We will continue doing these top 10 hitters, top 10 receivers, top 10 pitchers. I mean, we want to expand it out. If y'all want to see a top 10 list, you let us know.
We're not a
whatever
baseball
sport.
channel. We will do more.
Exactly. We'll do all the sports. You name it. Drop it down in the comments below. Leave a like if you loved it. Subscribe to our channel.
Don't forget to tell us your opinions.
Yeah, your opinions matter. Like I stated earlier, your opinions matter, good or bad. We're going to read every single one, and we hope that you can come back, continue watching. Y'all have a great day.